What's going on, my New Orleans sports family? As always, I'm your boy O. Today, we got to talk about those red-hot Pelicans and what's the reason behind the team being so good. And also, I'm going to give you guys my opinion about Dennis Allen's decision to stick with Andy Dalton as the New Orleans Saints quarterback. Now, look, if you believe in getting loud and also you got to fight, that means you love talking about the Pelicans, you love talking about the Saints, so we have something in common. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And then as always, make sure you hit that like button. To help me out with the algorithm, baby.
Got to get it in. It'll come into Valanciunas. Back to Ingram for the win. Yes! 0.3 of a second to play.
You saw it. You saw it from here.
We got to talk about the child of the city that everyone loves to talk about. You know, the only team in New Orleans worth watching at this very moment. That's the New Orleans Pelicans. Right now, the Pelicans sit at a 9-6 record. That's 5th in the Western Conference. When it comes down to stats, this team is 4th in points scored per game, 5th in field goal percentage per game at 48%, 16th in free throws. I always say that they need to pick that up at 78%, 5th in three-point percentage at 38%, 3 points made, they're at 22nd. Sure, you might say that's kind of like towards the bottom, but that's because we're not taking as many threes as other teams. Right? Total rebounds, 7th in the league at 45 per game, 8th in the league in assists per game, 9th in the league in turnovers, and as far as overall ratings, this team offensively and defensively, and in the rebound category, and in the assist category, and in the three-point percentage made and the field goal percentage made, they're the only team in the NBA that has a top spot in those categories. This team is what we have been waiting for in the city of New Orleans. For years, we always ask ourselves, when are we going to get an NBA championship? I feel like this year is that year. If our starters aren't on, our bench will take up for them. If our bench can't bring it to the table, then our starters have already punched them in the face. This is a very good team, you guys. I feel like this is the team that's going to bring us some excitement this year. Not the New Orleans Saints, maybe the LSU Tigers, but as far as professional sports, the New Orleans Pelicans has a very good shot of making the city of New Orleans happy. Hopefully, our boy Brandon Ingram can kind of get out of this little slump and start actually hitting his shots. I believe in the last game, he was like 3 for 14, and that's mainly because they're kind of focusing their defense on them. But I feel like this team just isn't about Brandon Ingram right now. It's about everyone playing together, feeling each other's energy, and not to mention passing the ball around, seeing the court for what they give you, and also good coaching, right? Willie Green doing a phenomenal job. You got us to the playoffs last year. I have every reason to believe that you're going to give us a championship this year because that is the standard that you have set up for us right now. We have a good team. I love this team. Cannot wait to see this team again. Believe we play again Saturday night. Oh, yeah, I think it's Saturday night. We play again. Okay, I got to look at the schedule. But watching this team is quite exciting, right? We have plenty of games left. We got like 65 left, 66 games left or so. We're going to enjoy all 66 games. If you ask me, you really and truly need to get your popcorn because the New Orleans Pelicans is about to put on a show. Next up, I want to talk about the most disappointing team in the city of New Orleans. Our New Orleans Saints are not looking good at this very moment. They're 3-7 on the season. Doesn't seem as if they're going to go anywhere, right? Dennis Allen has made a decision to stick with Andy Dalton as a quarterback, and a lot of Saints fans out there, they cannot seem to understand this decision. I'm here to tell you, if you feel like Andy Dalton is the reason why this team is losing, you do not know football. You're not getting to the quarterback on defense. You're not running the ball effectively. You're not even catching the ball effectively, right? When it comes down to the New Orleans Saints, Andy Dalton is the least of their problems. Coaching is bad, and not to mention the offensive line seems to not be able to block any defender out there. Think about it. If you go back and look at the Pittsburgh Steelers game, our defensive line getting to the quarterback was much less than what the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line was getting to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton was under pressure constantly all night long. It's not Andy Dalton's fault because grown-ass men who's been playing the position for a very long time wants to all of a sudden act as if they don't know how to play the position, right? It's an offensive lineman. You should know how to stop people from getting to the quarterback. But the Saints offensive line just seem to cannot do that. They forgot the goddamn assignment. Our offensive line sucks. Our defensive line sucks. Our secondary sucks. We only got, 2, maybe 3 interceptions on the season, and that's the whole team. And only one guy has those interceptions, in Tyrann Mathieu. Matter of fact, it's just 2. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, right now at this very moment himself, has 5 interceptions. You're not bringing enough to the table. Looking at the Saints and just saying it's the quarterback's problem, we're way off of that. This team has a coaching problem, and not just Dennis Allen. Secondary coach, defensive line coach, running back coach, wide receiver coach. None of these guys are doing their goddamn jobs the way that they should be doing it. However, you cannot fully blame them because you have men who's been playing in the NFL for years who seem to all of a sudden forget to know how to play the game of football. So for those people out there who believe that Andy Dalton is the Saints' problem, you really and truly needs to go take football 101 classes because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Well, that's all I got for you today, you guys. Hopefully you watched this video all the way to the end to help your boy out with the algorithm. And don't forget, I have a main channel, the 4KO. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions. I talk about toys and geek culture in general. I am going to leave the link in the description below so you can go ahead and subscribe over there as well. And don't forget, you guys, the Saints are a disappointment. The Pelicans, they're doing their job for the city of New Orleans. Thank you for tuning in.